not quite by the score that I predicted. I predicted a double-digit score, but still a good win, 20-13 in Tennessee. So, yeah, man, Lamar was he was pretty amazing.
Yeah, Lamar was great. The defense was great. Hollywood showed up and had a really, really nice game for him. Overall, it was a great team win. Not a whole lot to complain about from Baltimore in that week. Like I said, the only thing would be, Mark Andrews had a couple drops again, but they turned out to not be really big factors in the game.
Right, right. Yeah, I was frustrated by the early drop by Mark Andrews because Mark Andrews doesn't get talked about nearly enough for his drops, especially in big games. And he had another drop in the end zone, which people didn't really credit him with that drop. I understand it was a hard catch to make, right? And I'm not really that within itself. I'm not really mad at. Yeah, it is a tough catch, but it just seems like he's always dropping those catches in the end zone. And my thing is, if you're gonna get credit for being a top tier tight end, like those are the catches that you have to make, right? But it didn't kill us. It looked bad early. It looked bad early. We got down 10-0, and of course, all the narratives of hey, Lamar can't play from behind, and it always comes to Lamar, right? But Lamar can't come back from 10 points down, and the game's over, and he's already playing bad. He threw a bad interception to Malcolm Butler of all people. But he came back, had that nice 48-yard touchdown run, and they tied it by halftime. And they came out in the second half, went right down the field, scored a touchdown, and it was pretty much over from there. Tennessee couldn't really mount up any kind of offense. The defense completely shut down Derrick Henry. And, when you put the ball in Ryan Tannehill's hands and you rely on Ryan Tannehill, good things happen for the defense.
Well, Tennessee had their chance
Yeah.
late in the game. They had a 4th and 1 on Baltimore's 40 and chose to punt.
Yeah.
You got a 2,000-yard rusher in Derrick Henry, and I understand that he'd been bottled up all day, but if not then when? Right? Like
I can understand why. Look, I would have went for it, but I can understand Rabel being a little hesitant because even later on in the game, right, it's 3rd and 1, and they desperately need to pick up that first down, and they get the ball to Henry, and he gets stuffed, right? Like, like they weren't giving Henry anything today, anything. He finished the game with 40 yards, man. So I already knew that obviously Lamar had more rushing yards, right? Lamar had over 100 yards rushing and touchdown, but J.K. Dobbins had more rushing yards than Derrick Henry. You know what I mean?
I believe Gus Edwards did as well.
Okay, I didn't see Gus Edwards' stats, but I know J.K. Dobbins had like 43 or 44 yards in a touchdown.
Oh, no, Edwards had 38. Henry had 40.
Okay. So, yeah, he didn't have a good day at all. Like, they were determined to stop him, and they weren't really worried about anybody else. And that's where Tennessee, fell short. And it's like we always say, like, yes, Tannehill has some good numbers this year, but that team, Tennessee, does not want Tannehill throwing the ball that many times, right? They don't want the game to be in his hands for that very reason that happened at the end. He threw that interception right to Marcus Peters.
That wasn't on him.
No, it is on him because on the other side, you had A.J. Brown wide open. He had his man beat, right? I think that was Jimmy Smith. He didn't look that way. He was looking at that receiver the whole time. Right.
That's fine, but the receiver fell down. Like the interception's not on Tannehill.
Yeah, it was
he ran into Peters and fell over.
It was still a bad decision, though.
I don't know. If he doesn't fall, that's a catch. It kind of is what it is.
Maybe a catch.
Well, yeah. Right? Look, it should be a catch if he doesn't fall. Obviously, there's a chance that Peters breaks it up or something like that. But they had that play. He just fell down.
Yeah, but if he looks the other direction, A.J. Brown's open, right? Go through your reads.
Hey, man, if he throws it to A.J. Brown, maybe he trips. Like that's not you can't put that on the quarterback or the receiver falling down after he throws the ball.
But it wouldn't be an interception though. Huh. Like you're throwing it to a guy that you're hoping he can make the catch, but it's still within coverage. Yeah, he tripped, but Marcus Peters was right there, right? It wasn't like he had Marcus Peters beat in any way. Marcus Peters was right there.
No, but when he lets go of that pass, you're not thinking there's any chance of that being an interception either.
Right.
because
Right.
the receiver is between Peters and the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, worst case scenario is okay. Well, he breaks it up, knocks it down, it's incomplete. But what actually happened is he runs into Marcus Peters and fell over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking about. I don't know why he ran directly into Marcus Peters. I don't know why he couldn't keep his feet. Marcus Peters is not an imposing man. Okay,
He
but
wasn't that play, and the best part about it was what happened after the interception. You know, that whole defensive team came out to the middle of the field and had a party on the Titans logo, which was a response to when they came to our house. It was a week 11, and wanted to huddle up in the middle of the field. Completely tried to disrespect us.
mhm.
And he tried to do the same thing again in this game. After Malcolm Butler had that interception, he gave Lamar Jackson the finger, right?
Yeah,
Like they've been doing it since last year. I don't know what their issue is with us, man, where they have to feel like they have to go out their way to just be extra disrespectful. But
I
they
know what
got
it is. It's new money, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't know how to act. So
Right. They were hyped up off of last year because they beat a 14-2 team in the playoffs, and nobody really expected them to win. Okay, great. That's cool. That's over and done with. We gave you your props. You come back this year and you're being extra disrespectful again. Well, guess what? You keep poking at the bear. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like the paws are gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Like what did you think was gonna happen, man? Like you thought you was gonna keep beating us over and over and over and over again? It
that
don't
is
work that way in the
exactly what
NFL.
they thought. That
That
is
ain't the
exactly what
NFL,
they
yo.
thought.
That's not how the NFL works. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're gonna run into that team and you're gonna take that L. And it happened in your home and they stomped on your logo and they walked off the field without shaking your hands and you can't say a damn thing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You can't say anything at all. So, eat that.
but I do want to go back and talk about that decision to punt the ball.
Mm.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, Derrick Henry has not been, he hasn't been getting loose at all. Right?
Right.
He had one decent run, I think of like 8 yards for the game. That was it.
Yeah.
They shut him down. But you punted away your season by punting the ball from Baltimore's 40-yard line. At that point in the game, there
Yeah.
was no. You're not relying on your defense to stop somebody. Like
Exactly.
you need 1 yard. Cool. It's the same thing with the years ago with the Seahawks and the Patriots, right?
Right.
They're on the goal line. They throw the ball, gets intercepted. Everybody's like, "Oh, why didn't you hand it to Marshawn? Give it to Marshawn." Well, for his career, Marshawn is a below average goal line runner. That's why they
Right.
didn't give it to Marshawn. But everybody knows instinctively that's the wrong call,
Right.
right? Derrick Henry is a 2,000-yard rusher. He's led the league in rushing, the last 2 years. He had 18 touchdowns this season. He's King Henry, right?
Right.
So give him the ball and let him get a yard.
Yeah. Look, don't get me wrong, right? When I say I understand where Vrabel's coming from, that doesn't mean I agree with Mike Vrabel on that play. It's Derrick Henry. I'm giving him the ball, and I'm gonna believe at some point he's gonna make the play for us. He's gonna break through. It's
Yeah.
2 yards, man. It's 2 yards. 2,000, like you said, 2,000-yard rusher. Of course, I'm gonna give him the ball. You know what I'm saying? Of course.
And even if you don't want to give him the ball, you mentioned a 3rd and 1 before that where he
Yeah.
didn't get it. They lined right up and quarterback, ran the quarterback
QB
sneak
sneak.
and got it
Yeah.
easily.
QB sneak. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
1 yard. He got scared. That's
Yeah.
all that happened. He said, "Look, I don't know. This isn't the offense that I'm used to seeing. I don't know if we can get it. I better just punt it."
Yeah.
And now your season's over.